Hello everyone. Today is the last class and the last presentation. I think we are so happy. I am Ali Mashayli. In this presentation, I will speak about my research proposal. The title is Cloud Computing Providers and Companies First. I will divide my presentation to 5 main points. The first one is the introduction and the literature review and the methodology and the interview questions and the references. I will speak about these 5 points. In the first part is the introduction. I will speak about the background about this topic and why is it important and why is it interesting to me and my research questions. I will speak about all these 4 parts. I think the first thing is coming to our minds now. What is the cloud computing? The cloud computing is a new generation technology that has become popular in recent years in the area of computing. This technology allows the user internet to access the data whenever without any experience. And also this service offers many types of the service. The first thing is the application and platform and the infrastructure as a service. Like the application, like games, emails, this is application. And the platform like the databases and the web servers and the component of the internet. And the infrastructure like the hardware, like the virtual storage and network communication devices and servers and routers. This service offers this service as a service, application platform infrastructure. And the big important thing that cloud computing providers challenge to this service to be successful is the save money. How this service can save the money? This service can offer, as I said, this service can offer the platform and application infrastructure. The companies that want this service, they don't need to buy like hardware or software. You can make contract with the providers to get this service. And actually, they will save money by reduce the amount of the hardware and reduce the amount of the employee that work in that information technology. These companies don't have to hire employee to work in the information technology. I think, of course, this service can save money. Why is it important? This technology can replace a traditional network. When I said a traditional network, I mean like any information technology center has the operation room, but with this service, the information technology centers don't have to build operation room just to make contract with this service. And why I am interested to this topic? Really, I am interested to learn a lot about this topic because I have 3 years experience working in the network administrator. This is the new thing. I want to keep myself updated because that I chose this topic. My research question: what are companies' fears about cloud computing, and what is being developed to address the fears of companies about cloud computing? I want to talk about my literature review. The main purpose of my 4 articles is to highlight the fears that the companies that use this technology have regard to the security. And then I will talk about the gap, what is the mist between these 4 articles and my research proposal, and how my research will fill this gap. I have 4 articles, as I said. I think I am not lucky because all the articles have more, the title have more than 2 lines. just I want to say like Baker, the first one, and Romero, the second one, and like the third one and the fourth one, at least like 6 authors. I think I will start by Baker, security issues. Baker stated that security issues in the cloud computing service are usually related to the privacy. That means personal data and other information and other sensitive information of the organization are stored in the cloud, which is managed by providers. That also means is the data of the organization are stored outside the organization. This is, Baker said, this is the big risk of this service. And the second article, Romero, also stated the same things that Baker said. She stated that putting information in the hand of the third parties can potentially result in the thief or loss of the data. And the third articles, all these are fears about the companies that I will make interview with the providers to convince this company about this service. And the third article talk about a phrase. This is an important phrase in the cloud computing service, data lock-in. The third articles highlights the concern that some companies have about the data lock-in. That means if the cloud of computing providers go out from the business without any reason, just I want to stop my service. What happened to my data? How can I save my data? How can I save my rights? And the last article talks about one big problem. Actually, I'm not sure if this is correct, but this article talks about it, the danger of service attacks. This article talks about like some people, like hackers, can hack this cloud computing to get data. And then these people, the hackers, can force this company to pay the ransom, to get the service again on. I'm not sure this is true, because most of the cloud computing providers are famous companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon. But this article talks about that. I'm not sure if it's true. Now I want to talk about what is the gap between the previous study and my research proposal. I think there still remains in 2 types. Companies specific are fears about the cloud computing, and also the providers don't have effective solutions until now to make these companies that want to have this service to be sure this is a good service with the security, with everything. how my research will fill this gap? I think the first thing I will build a level of trust between the companies and with the providers. That I think is a good thing to make a relationship and good relationship between the companies and the providers to give level of trust. And the second thing, provide ways to increase the trust, like a method that keep the data is safe and keep everything is more secure. This is will build like a good relationship between the companies and the providers. Now I want to talk about the methodology that I followed in this my research proposal. I have two types of the data. One, I get it from the aside from extensive reading of published academic articles, and the second type of data that will come from the interview that I will interview the providers. I will combine the two data from the academic articles and from the interview. I want to talk about the specific number and the subject. Of course, my subject is human. I will interview specifically three face-to-face interview of the three different providers will be conducted in my research proposal. And I will follow that type of research qualitative. I will make a survey with the providers of the cloud computing service. The last part in my methodology, the limitation and the locating. I have I think three limitations. The four-season difficulty to set appointments with the interviews, since access inside these companies will be restricted. It's not easy to get appointment with the administrator of providers of cloud computing service. It is restricted. And the second thing, I think the amount of the interviews might be small because it is hard to get a providers to make interview with them. About the locating, the headquarters of all the providers of the cloud computing service are located in New York City, because New York City has, I think, the more businesses in or marketing in New York in the United States, because that I chose this city. And the third one, realm of cloud computing. This means the number of customers that providers have, how many total number of cloud customers this providers have. This will make I'm sure this is a good providers because they have a lot of customers and they don't have any problems with them. This is the appendix. I will show you the 13 questions that I have about the interview question. The first 4 questions will aim to measure this person who will interview is a good person to give the interview a good data and a good answers. I will talk about the qualification, like the position and his responsibility, and the history of his education or her education. And the third and the fourth number, I want just to know if this company or provider really is a good, with the number of the customers, with the number of the employee who involved in the cloud computing service, not in the business or something other in the company, just involved in the service of cloud computing. And the rest of the questions, this is the fears that companies have about the cloud computing service. I want to show the providers the fears of these companies. If the providers have a good answer to increase the trust between the companies and with the providers. As I said, I have 13 questions. The third one, the last one, who has the right to terminate a contract, the provider or the company? This is, I think, is important thing, because when I read my articles, all the experts or companies talk about who have the right to finish the contract, the company or the provider. And this is the 4 references that I used to my research proposal. And thank you so much for listening. Feel free to ask me or to give me a comment if you. Thank you so much.
I do.
Yeah.
I always have a question. So my question relates to how you will find out more about these companies' fears. I wonder, you're planning to talk to cloud service providers, but why did you choose not to talk to companies who would be customers of these?
Yeah, because I already get it in my my previous study. I want to add something new, because that I chose to interview the providers, because the articles talk about a lot of fears that the companies have, but the articles don't talk about the development of providers to deal with this problem. Because that I chose to make interview just with the providers instead to make interview with the companies, because all my articles talk about the fears.
Do you feel like the fears that you found in your research are reasonable?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
As I said, I have 3 years experience. If I have the right to make contract with this service, I will not make contract.
Really?
Yeah. Because the data is sensitive. When I know my data is outside my organization and it will managed by providers, I mean something else outside the organization, I think it is hard. If like a big company or university, I will not make contract. Even this service is increased and is popular.
Do you think it'll be easy to convince big companies to meet with you, to do the interviews, and to share proprietary information?
I think the big companies already have a operation room. They don't need to get to share the hardware or the software. They already have the operation room. Yeah. I think for the small companies that they don't have a good income or a good budget, I think it is good for them to make contract with the service to reduce the amount of the money or reduce the amount of the hardware and software. But the big company, it is hard.
Do you guys have questions? Why are you so so quiet today?
Because I'm here.
Yeah, apparently. Thank you.
Thank you.